One company prepared 4,300 emergency kits for a single afternoon. Another company, that same week, prepared nothing at all for the moment its own artists needed protecting most. Neither story made a headline about corporate planning. But if you look at what got planned for and what didn't, the gap tells you more about the Chinese entertainment industry in August 2026 than either viral moment on its own. This is Rabbit News Hallyu, and we look for the signal underneath the story everyone already thinks they know. Start with the easier one. On August 9th, in Guangzhou, temperatures reached 36 degrees Celsius. Zhang Linghe spent more than 40 minutes on an outdoor stage at a Weibo fan event, dressed in long sleeves, engaging with the crowd the entire time. He never mentioned the heat. He joked about it instead, fanning himself, dabbing his neck with a wet tissue, laughing at his own discomfort rather than complaining about it. By the time footage circulated online, his collar was visibly soaked, sweat collected along his collarbone, and fans had already turned the moment into a compliment. Someone joked it looked like he was wearing highlighter he never applied. The hashtag translating roughly to Zhang Linghe is this attractive climbed entertainment trending charts within hours. That's the surface story. Here's the detail most coverage skipped. Before Zhang Linghe ever stepped on stage, his team had already prepared 4,300 heat relief kits for attendees, cooling drinks, traditional remedies for heat stroke, rain ponchos, and a reserved, air-conditioned hotel banquet room where fans could recover. Someone, well in advance, had run a risk assessment on a summer outdoor event and built a response plan around it. That is not a small detail. That is visible institutional preparation, the kind companies only build when they've decided a predictable risk is worth budgeting for. Now hold that thought, because 2 days earlier, a very different kind of risk went completely unaddressed. On August 7th, in an underground parking garage in Hangzhou, Tian Xiwei was surrounded by a group of paparazzi. According to accounts that circulated afterward, the photographers hadn't gotten the shot they wanted, grew aggressive, and one made a mocking remark directed at her, sarcastically calling her quite the star as they crowded in close. Tian Xiwei reportedly stayed silent through the encounter, head down, offering no response. When the photographer later claimed the person he'd insulted was actually her assistant rather than Tian Xiwei herself, it didn't calm the situation. It escalated it. Fans read the claim as an attempt to minimize what had happened, and the anger that followed came with a specific demand that her company do more to protect her in public spaces. Notice what's missing from that account. No prepared kits, no reserved recovery room, no visible plan. Not because parking garage harassment is less predictable than a heat wave, paparazzi encounters are, if anything, one of the most routine occupational hazards in this industry, but because it's the kind of risk that companies rarely build public infrastructure around. Heat stroke has a checklist. Aggressive photographers, apparently, do not. That contrast is the anchor of this story. What a company visibly prepares for, and what it doesn't, tends to say more about how it weighs risk than any official statement ever will. One event got a logistics plan. The other got silence, until fans forced the issue into public view themselves. This isn't unique to either company involved. Across the industry, heat, crowd control, and venue logistics have become standardized line items for large fan gatherings, partly because they're predictable and partly because a heat stroke incident at a sanctioned company event creates direct liability. Paparazzi conduct sits in a murkier category. The photographers involved usually aren't employees of any agency, they operate in public space, and the legal tools available to an artist's company against a freelance photographer are limited compared to what a venue contract can dictate. That doesn't excuse the silence, it helps explain why silence, rather than a prepared kit, tends to be the default response when this specific kind of incident happens. And here's where the pattern deepens, because in both cases, it wasn't the company that ultimately shaped the public narrative. It was the audience. For Zhang Linghe, that shaping happened at the same event, later that evening, under a different kind of spectacle. Long ribbons were released from above the stage, falling across his shoulders, hair, and suit as part of the show's staging, a visual moment fans quickly framed as tailor-made for him. He read text off a 14-meter lead board, knelt down to take photos at eye level with seated fans, and sang a few lines to the younger members of the audience as confetti dropped around him. At exactly 9 o'clock, the crowd lit up red LED boards in unison, turning the venue into what attendees described as a sea of red built specifically around him. A show host, watching the moment unfold, said simply that it was something he'd earned. Whether or not the ribbon placement was scripted, the emotional response from the crowd clearly wasn't manufactured by any production team. It was fans deciding, in real time, how much devotion to project back at him. For Tian Xiwei, the audience did something different but structurally similar. They built a slogan. In the days before the parking garage incident, a gaming lineup for an esports-friendly event had already paired her with a professional peacekeeper elite player whose competitive alias translates to paratrooper. Around the same period, an unrelated meme about her and another actor failing to hold an umbrella for each other was already circulating online, attaching the word umbrella to her name in the public conversation. When the harassment incident happened, fans fused all three threads, the paratrooper pairing, the umbrella meme, and the sense that she'd been left exposed, into a single phrase: there's no reason a paratrooper wouldn't protect Tian Xiwei. It wasn't officially sanctioned messaging. It was assembled, almost instantly, out of internet material that had nothing to do with the incident until fans decided it did. The phrase trended on Weibo within the same news cycle, alongside fan-made videos expressing sympathy and calling for her protection. Neither reaction required a company statement to exist. That's the part worth sitting with. In one case, fans converted an official, sanctioned event into an outpouring of affection large enough to fill a stadium in red light. In the other, fans converted silence and a denied apology into a viral protective slogan strong enough to generate its own pressure campaign. Different emotional register, same underlying mechanism. When the audience senses either devotion or vulnerability, they don't wait for a studio to write the narrative. They write it themselves, faster than any PR team could, and often more persuasively. There's a marketing dimension here too, whether or not either company intended it. Fan-made content, a slogan built from a gaming pairing and a meme, a hashtag built from unedited sweat, travels further and reads as more credible to outside audiences than anything an official account could post, precisely because it wasn't manufactured by the brand. That's valuable. It's also unpredictable, since a narrative born from genuine goodwill in one incident is the same mechanism that, in a different context, has turned on companies rather than protected them. Relying on fan mobilization as an informal safety net works only as long as the goodwill holds. Zoom out further and the international dimension matters as well. Clips of both moments crossed language barriers within days, the sweat-soaked footage subtitled and reposted by overseas fan accounts, the paratrooper slogan explained in translation threads for audiences who had no context for the gaming reference or the earlier meme. Neither story needed a formal international rollout to reach a global audience. That's increasingly normal for Chinese entertainment coverage in 2026, and it means the reputational stakes of moments like these no longer stop at the domestic fan base. A company's silence in a Hangzhou parking garage becomes a talking point in comment sections thousands of miles away almost as fast as the domestic reaction forms. Which brings the story back to where it started, the kits and the silence. If a company can plan for heatstroke at a fan meeting down to the number of raincoats, the absence of any comparable plan for paparazzi conduct isn't necessarily proof of indifference. It may simply reflect which risks get budgeted for as routine, and which ones still get treated as unfortunate but unavoidable. But the pattern across both stories suggests something companies may want to notice: fans are already doing the work of narrative protection whether or not management asks them to. The Red Sea for Zhang Linghe and the paratrooper slogan for Tian Xiwei both prove the audience is willing to step into a gap the moment it opens. That's a resource. It's also, quietly, a warning about how much of an artist's real-time protection is currently outsourced to people who were never actually hired for the job. None of this confirms what either company will change going forward. There's no announcement to point to yet, and it would be premature to claim otherwise. What's observable is simpler: one risk got a checklist, one didn't, and fans noticed the difference before anyone in a corporate office had to say a word about it. If you like entertainment stories that go beyond the headline, the kind that look for the quiet signals most coverage misses, Rabbit News Hallyu was built for exactly that. Subscribe if you want analysis, not just updates. A note on the source: I deliberately generalized one detail from the Tian Xiwei paparazzi encounter, the specific lean matte phrasing, since it read like a translation artifact rather than a verifiable claim. I kept the confirmed elements: aggressive crowding, a mocking remark, her silence, the disputed assistant claim, and left out the unverifiable specific. Let me know if you have a cleaner source on that detail and I'll tighten it.